All right, everyone. Hey, welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode on Velocity Channel. And man, it's getting to be something else out there, isn't it? I mean, I know a lot of you have already been checking with the market, and you're wondering, my goodness, what's up with the credit scores? It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. I'm still in this rut of maybe the 600s, maybe the low 700s, maybe even the low 500s. CJ, is anything going to get better? Is this credit scoring system really fair? So before we get into that, we just want to let you know that, spoiler alert, no. No, the credit scoring system is not fair. It was actually invented, FICO was actually invented by an engineer and a mathematician. And remember, folks, it's all numbers. Rarely are those type of people emotional about anything. If rarely do they care about anything deeper than just the numbers, and they definitely want to get things done. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. All I'm saying is that's how it's done. Okay. Remember, when they look at you, okay, and we're actually going to get into if this system is fair or not. They're not looking at you as a person. They are looking at you as a number. Let me just go ahead and get into it right now and kind of break this down for you. And then we're going to go ahead and see how we can get out of that quickly and make sure that we are on the side of, yes, the lender will be lending you $10,000 a day, $50,000 a day, $150,000, because guess what? You learned a secret about credit that's actually within the laws itself. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Is this credit scoring system fair? We're going to be talking about the lenders mitigating their risk and why they have to. It's better than the lender sitting across from you doing it. Talking about the credit scoring system and then the cons of this credit scoring system. All right, it's not going to take too long. I just want to take a couple minutes of your time, maybe 10, and then get out of your hair. All right. First of all, right, they do it to mitigate risk, folks. Look, this is the number one reason why the lenders have to look at the score. Now, first of all, we understand that the credit report and the credit score, they're two totally different things. All right. Think of the credit report as your report card, and then think of your credit score as the score that you got. Or excuse me, think of your credit report as the test, and then think of your credit score as the score you got on the test. Okay. You can think about it like that. So let's go ahead and just look at this through different lenses, and this is the grade. All right. So the credit report is the test. The credit score is the grade. So when you're looking at it like this, it is way better than the lender sitting across from you making personal, perhaps prejudice thoughts are coming into his or her or their mind. And they're thinking, man, this person looks this, that, and the other. And they also have their own bias, right? What if they grew up, wealthy? They don't know about, those that didn't have a silver spoon in their mouth, and so they have a bias with them. But with the credit score, right, they have a number that can tell them yes or a number that can tell them no. All right. And we want the number that tells us yes, right? Okay, so the cons of the credit scoring system are the obvious ones, right? We know that the biggest part of credit scoring, the biggest part of your credit report is going to be the 35% that says, hey, did you pay these guys on time? Your payment history makes up 35% of your score. It sure does. And so past performance, though, does not necessarily mean you're still that person. But guess what? The credit score doesn't take into account that, the new person you are, right? And so that's a con. Past performance, more than 35 or 34% errors in credit reports, more than 34%. That's astronomical, especially when you realize that there are millions that are going through this credit bureau system. And if you get a low enough score, guess what you can't get? You can't get a job. Sometimes you can't even get a house. All right. You can't get any, even a rental. All right. Because they're looking at that credit score. And so, it's gotten to the point where, yes, they'll accept, mortgage payment. They'll actually put that on the credit report. But as far as you having a rental, that doesn't count. Not unless you click on the link below, because we actually have teamed up with somebody that will help you have that score go to the correct credit bureau so that when you pay your rent, you're actually, watch this, you're actually building your credit score while paying your rent. So it's almost like you have a mortgage because that's getting reported. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have all of these things here against us, but what is for us? So the good thing about all of this is that even if you don't have the highest credit score, all right, you can still not get around it, but you can still utilize these laws for your good. What do I mean? Well, you can still get credit cards that may have an annual fee, but they will build your credit and they will build it quickly. Many of these credit cards, they'll build it so fast, right? And before you know it, you'll be in that elite bracket of the 800s, all right? So look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you are perusing, and there's not a lot of links down there in the description link, but make sure that you're clicking on the one that applies to you. I know that credit, especially now, it can be nerve wracking, but there are still companies out there. All right. We've researched it. There are still companies out there that will help you get business credit. Number one, that get owning a business is the number one tax strategy in the world, y'all. Okay. Let's own a business. Number two, there are cards that will still accept you, even if you don't have a trace of credit. Oh man, you need to get on this. Why? Why am I teaching you this? Because you need to implement the velocity banking method as soon as possible. Listen, the whole world needs to implement this in order to save the economy. Because what you're doing is you're cost segregating. You're income segregating, and you don't need to do that anymore. We have leverage now in the form of lines of credit. So when you utilize these lines of credit, you're talking about going from 15,000, okay, and you're paying it down, right? In, let's put that 6 over here. You're paying it down in 6 months instead of 4 years. And so we just want to put a cross over that. Now, if you don't know how that's possible, listen, you need to get with the people that's commenting on this video right now, because many of them know. You need to get with us on Velocity University because we know, right? You need to come and get a call with me because I know, all right? So let's make sure that regardless of if the credit scoring system is fair or not, we can utilize credit to build credit and to build our business and to build wealth for us and our families and our communities. Folks, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I know it's a little bit lengthy, but thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you need help. You'll get it. God bless, and you guys have a great day.